everyone, it's me, Mix-o-Lydian, and welcome to the Mix-o-Lydian. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how GarageBand works. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to use GarageBand. I'm going to show you on my computer, and then I'm going to show you on an iPad so you can see the few different methods we can put information in there. And then I'm going to show you how we create a beat and then layer the different instruments over. So what do you think? What are the necessary parts of a beat? If we're making a beat, what do we need? Well, we definitely need our drums, right? Right? And we will need our bass, boom, doom, 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 right? Which is again our really big violin, our bass guitar. And then we might use a bonus instrument. So if we have right bass guitars really low and then our bass drum, we might also want something up in the treble range, which I'm going to call our bonus instrument. You might want a bonus instrument for that upper layer so that it's not so heavy with all of our low sounds, right? We can balance it up with a little bit of treble. All right, well done. Should we give it a try? All right, here we go. Let me show you what I've been working on. What do I do here? So I've got my electronic piano sound that I am going to use as my bass sound. So again, you can see my hand moving my keyboard down here as I type in this stuff. And again, I'm just going to use a few notes. Less is more. So I can do a lot with a little. But I want to keep it in that low as I create my bass line. Then I went over here to my drum part. And I started with 4 on the floor. What do you think that means, 4 on the floor? If I got my bass drum on the floor, boom, 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 boom. Then 4 on the floor is when we just keep that bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 2, 3, 4. And that's a dance rhythm, right? When we hear 4 on the floor, 4 on our bass drum, that's going to make people want to dance, okay? And it's going to sound something like this. Can you hear that? And that's 4 on the floor. Our dance rhythm. So again, I start with my bass. Get my drum coming in here, and my bonus texture, right? So again, in this case, I swap out my bonus texture for my voice. Those two trade places because I sing in that high treble range, and that's also the range that I used for my bonus sound, which in this case is electronic flutes. Let's give this a try. You want to see what this sounds like?
I see you walking down the street, waving at everyone that you meet. I haven't been around for a while, but behind your mask, I see you smile.
Something like that. So again, what I did in the blue, that's my microphone recording, right? Again, I created lyrics using end rhyming words. I see you walking down the street, waving at everyone that you meet, right? So each of my phrases ends with a word that I will rhyme together, and I was able to create a really simple verse using that kind of patterning. And then what else do I got here? So I used my electric piano for my low bass sound, and I just played that really low in this bottom range so that I could get those notes. Okay. All right, so what do you notice? I've got a few patterns here in green, and then I've got something over here in blue, right? So if it's green, then that is our MIDI sounds. Repeat after me. MIDI. MIDI. And again, MIDI is what I type into the instrument. So for example, I did this, I typed it in using my computer keypad, right? I turned my letters into a piano, and then I was able to play my computer like a piano. And that's because the MIDI is samples. So the MIDI uses little samples of recordings, and then I just say, use this sample, use that sample. And so that's why it looks like little dots and dashes, because it's just little clips that we arrange and then electronically put into the computer. If it's in blue, how did I get this blue one? I got my blue sample from my microphone. So if I am using my voice or an actual instrument and I want to record that instrument being played, then I'm going to see these actual sound waves, right? So these sound waves are science, right? That's what our voice looks like. When I'm really loud, the wave is really loud, and when I'm really quiet, the wave is going to be really quiet. So this sound wave in blue is something that I made with my microphone. Everything in green I typed in using my MIDI. Okay, so this is a little bit of how we create a beat. What do you think? Should we try our own version? Let's give it a try. Let's try another version. Here we go. So if I wanted to start a new file in my GarageBand, sure, go ahead, save. I'm going to come over here to New Projects. So I'm going to click New Project, and I'm going to start with my MIDI sounds. So again, if you're using a computer and you see this page, we want to start with our green MIDI sounds. And again, my first sound is going to be my electronic piano, and I see that here I can type on my keyboard to get that sound, but I can also change it to all kinds of different sounds, right? Right? So all kinds of things. So you're going to want to pick a sound, and then less is more. And I don't want you to use any more than 3 notes. Just try 3 notes. All right, so let's give this a try. So I want you to make a pattern, and we're not going to use any more than 3 notes. Something like, right? So again, it's going to sound just like a few notes. Less is more. You don't have to overthink it. We're just giving this a try. We're just trying to make sure that we can. Later, we'll polish it up and we'll get our really good songs. But don't worry about making this first song the best song you've ever written, right? We're just trying to figure out how GarageBand works and how we can start to make our own beats. All right, here we go. And now I want to show you how it works on an iPad. It's going to go something like this. So the nice thing about an iPad, if I'm going to create a song, go to this plus sign, is we have these smart instruments. So smart instruments are really great because it will help you create the pattern if you're feeling shy. So if I put a sample on my drum machine at the top, that's going to make it loud. If I put it at the bottom, that's going to be quiet. If it's on the left, it's going to be a very simple pattern. And if it's on the right, it's going to be more complicated. Let's see, what are some of these sounds? Find a drum sound I like. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the upper left corner. That's going to be loud and simple. Now I'm going to add my hi-hat a little bit more to the right, so it's a little bit more complicated and a little bit softer. Alright, I'm ready to record. I'm going to press that red circle. And now I want to add some claps. Good. so now I have my drum loop. All right, and I click that blue box, and it brings me to my MIDI version so I can see the actual dots of where the samples are being triggered. Alright, so from this I can see the different pitches, I can see the different instruments, and I can see the rhythm. But I can't see is the volume, right? MIDI won't tell me the volume, but it will give me a lot of other information. Okay, here we go. So let's go pick another instrument. Let's do a smart instrument. Let's do our bass. So now we're going to get our bass part. So again, if I just press any of these instruments, or if I press any of these strings, then they'll ring. If I press the picture of the bass, then I can change the instrument to something that I like. Oh, that's different. Oh. Maybe a little warmer. Yeah, that'll do. So again, I can move left or right. I can move to any of the different strings to get different pitches. And I'm going to try to find a pattern, something simple. There it is. Okay, so now I'm ready to record. I'm going to press the red circle. It's going to count off. Metronome. Alright, so now I got my cycle. There's my loop. It's the same loop as what I had for my drum part. Same length. Like if I press that blue box, I go back to my MIDI version. So, there we go. This is my drum beat. This is how we make our beats, and we layer the different parts. So again, if I want to add another instrument, I can press that plus in the bottom left corner and add the next instrument, the next layer, right? So this is how we begin. Very good, everyone. And how do we end each music class? With the goodbye song. Ready? The music time is over. The music time is over.